All right. I did say we're going to change gears. We are going to change gears, and we're going to go on to Magnum. So if we're going from Party Cannon to Magnum, and I believe for most of our audience, this is going to be more to your speed. So we're back to our normal wheelhouse now with this one. So all right, this is Magnum with the Monster Roars, 12 tracks, 59 minutes. Before I get stuck into it, sorry, the reference track for this is No Steppin' Stones. It's in the comments, it's in the description. Magnum, No Steppin' Stones. So yeah, like I was saying, Magnum, the Monster Roars, 12 tracks, 59 minutes, the 22nd studio album from the English band, released January 2022 via Steamhammer Records, SPV. Two singles have so far been released in I Won't Let You Down and No Steppin' Stones. Not a lot more info to be had from my usual spiel here, so let's get stuck straight into it, and let's go to you first on this one, Tim.
Now, first of all, some inside baseball. We have a playlist that just has all the albums one after the other.
Yeah.
I did do the palette cleanser leading into this album.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
So if you guys can follow this playlist as well. So if you're like me listening to this, and you're on the current listening playlist, take a little break, listen to something else.
I'll put it in the comments.
It's on the comments. And come back to Magnum.
Yep.
Now, maybe my description of this band is way off, but they kind of remind me of like a late 70s stadium rock version of I forget the name of the band now.
Rusty much?
This is the first show of the year. It's the first show of the year. We are. I got.
This is why you make notes, Tim.
Again, first show of the year. Normally, I remember this stuff. They remind me of like, hey, start two, take two, we're live, people. They remind me of a late 70s like stadium rock version of Avantasia.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get
now
that.
I could be way off with that description, but that is sort of my access point to this. Now, of course, it's Now, when I say that now a lot of people are going to hear Avantasia and think, okay, that's fucking cool. But then when they listen to this, they might get disappointed because it's not as over the top. But again, it is more branded in that late 70s stadium rock thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think if you put your time into it, you listen to it, there's some great songs all over this thing. They're excellent musicians. I think the songwriting's fantastic. The vocals are really good. And the way the singer just kind of sits at the front and everything else builds around him, I thought was really good. Drums are fantastic on this, I thought. I thought the way they really drove the songs when they needed to, and they really pulled back when they had to. And I thought it was a really mature drumming performance. I thought the songs were excellent. And I thought this is a very good listen if you are into that sort of 70s studio musician, run amok kind of thing. Yeah. Actually, on that note, if you are a bit of a studio nerd, it's probably a good one to listen to as well because, again, it's one of those where it's not very many tricks. It's very plug in and play, put a microphone in front of it, and it sounds great and get good tones and sounds fantastic. Now, having said that, my highlight actually is No Steppin' Stone.
Cool.
Which has that kind of live feel thing to it. And is it a live track, totally live recorded?
I don't think so. I think it was just added in, but yeah, it was a good stop in the middle of the album as well.
No, yeah, the reason why I've had that is, again, drums. That thing grooves like a motherfucker. That was a shuffle and a half. But yeah, great track. 8 out of 10. And it's a very good listen.
Cool. Just before we get into your one there, Dave, I just wrote a timely comment here. Conrad said that now Tim's shrooms have kicked in. So just on there. I'll get to the other comments soon enough. That was just timely. All right. Dave, how'd you go? I'm pretty sure this is more to your taste.
Yeah. It's interesting Tim brought up the Avantasia connection because Fire Summit actually posted on Avantasia's page today that he loves this band and he's got this album on cassette.
Wow.
So I couldn't pick the similarity at first, but then as soon as he said that, I was just like, hey, he posted earlier today. So I didn't get that initially, but the more I think about it, there is definitely an influence on his songwriting. Not so much style, because as you said, it's a lot more drawn out and grand with Avantasia, but the 30 years ago, it was what would become now. My strength.
The reason why I say Avantasia is because one of the things that always gets me with that band is they've taken that kind of 80s metal thing and they've pushed it to its absolute limit.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this band have taken everything from Steely Dan to Led Zeppelin have done effectively the same thing. And just pushed it as far as you can go.
Yep.
Yeah. This band, I've heard the name so many times, but I've never actually taken the time to listen to them. And album number 22 is probably as good a place as any. But after I listened to this, I went back and heard a bit of the first album, and they were very kind of Jethro Tull, Kansas, King Crimson back in the day. So they've certainly come a long way in many years. But I don't know why they never got past that one level. I think partly because their album covers suck. Going through the 21 album covers are fucking horrible. So if you're going for a record store back in the day and you saw that, you'd probably skip it. It just looks like a B-grade science fiction artwork you get on a book or a fucking video. It's just not appealing at all. However, musically, they're very fucking good. I'm sure if you're a fan of this band, this will be, a fun release for you. As a starting point for me, I like how this isn't about like rock attitudes and lifestyles. It just focuses on good songwriting and good performances. And what really stands out is the songwriting craft. I mean, these guys have obviously been around for years and they're veterans at what they do.
Yeah.
So they know what they got at their disposal, what their strengths and their weaknesses are, and they just focus on getting the desired outcome that they want for each song. And I like little additions of little instruments here and there. Like there's a piano at the end of the song Remember. I thought that was just a really nice little icing on the cake, and that leads perfectly into the next song, which starts with a piano, All You Believing In. The lyrics are quite interesting too. There's after a couple of listens, I had to Google it to kind of follow along. And there's some quite poignant and honesty in what he's writing about, and the singer has a really good voice and conveys that really well. It's not an album that calls any particular attention to a particular instrument. It's not like guitar solo flashy or vocal flashy or like this is the ballad. It's like everyone involved is just writing a good song, and it's not. And there's acoustic guitar, there's electric guitar, there's keyboard, there's piano, and it all serves the song. It is a grower. I mean, I put it on, it's just like, this is good. Just plods along, but it's one of those ones that you have on where you're doing something else, and then you hear something like that was cool. So I'll play the song back to the start and listen to it. It grabs you. Once you're in tune with what they're doing, it'll keep your attention. But if you're doing something else, it won't really until you know it. Like I said, it's a grower. It's a slow burn, but a good one. Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, at least they're consistent with their album covers, because this is fucking terrible. Not a good album cover at all. But overall, musically, it's a good listen, and I'll go and check out some of their earlier stuff or some of their more recent stuff, because they got 21 albums. But I gave it 7.5 out of 10. A standouts were Remember, The Present, Not the Past, and The Day After the Night Before, which is about as redundant as you can get for a song title.
Now, for me, it's funny that, Dave, you mentioned it's a slow burner, because it got my attention pretty much straight away. Okay. The first thing that got my attention was the lyrics and the storytelling. That grabbed me right from the first song. It was just, okay, this is really cool. It's melodic hard rock. It's got a lot of soul to it, though, but there's still a lot of bite. Don't think it's a long way from this. It's not the heaviest thing by a long stretch, but it's not the softest thing either. There's some nice ballsy riffs and some good groove on this one too. It does move, this one. It's funny because there's a comment here about the vocals, and I think the vocals are fucking fantastic. I think that with the storytelling, and they're not way out front, but they're just enough out. Like I said, it's a complete ensemble performance, and everyone's performing, and it's mixed to show that too. But the vocals are just that little bit out front, which is, helps to accent the stories being told, and that, which is a nice touch on this one. This is just all things classic rock for me. It's got piano, great riffs, great lead work along with the vocals that we told me before. But, there's also little things like tambourine and piano and all the things that Dave mentioned as well. And all those things have been mixed in so fucking well. Tim mentioned if you're a studio geek, this is an album to enjoy, and I fucking loved it. We all know how much I love the studio and the effect and how it's all put together. This, to me, was just fucking ear candy all over. The tones were great. The mixing was fantastic. The layering was perfect. The panning was bang on as well. Like, this whole thing sounds brilliant to listen to. Even if you don't like the songs, just listen to the mix. It's fucking fantastic. Like I said, yeah, it's got just enough grit in there as well. Like, they've kept it organic. It's not, over polished and all those things. It's a real band in a real room that's just fucking on. It sounds fucking great. What I liked a lot about the writing of these songs was the push and pull between the choruses and the verses. They really did push and pull between that aspect of each song really nicely, which made this album really move. There's grander touches on this, and like the string section in "I Won't Let You Down," that helps this whole thing move, and how the whole songs and the album all build and decline really nicely overall. And because of that, each song has a point on the album. There's nothing here that's a filler or it's just a song for the sake of it. Everything is put in its place. So that while the whole band is an ensemble, the album feels like a genuine collection that's meant to be listened to a particular way. So I've done a really good job putting this whole thing together. Some great hooks in this one. While Caesar, I don't know if you can hear him, he's having a dream and carrying on at my feet here. He's just whining in his sleep. But this has, great hooks, great peaks and troughs. I always talk about the peaks and troughs, so have a drink while I'm doing this one. And I think that the thing with the hooks is the emotive conviction in the performance of the vocals really sells it for me as well. I think the attention to detail was fantastic, like was mentioned, the noise, the crowd noise before and there's a brass section in things like, No Steppin' Stones, like that was a great attention to detail. And all these things make every song different to the one before, but nothing is over the top. Nothing is pushed too far. They explore a wide range of stuff, but never go outside the lines that fit what's going on in the album. I thought, for me, it was, the more I spent time with it, I will agree with Dave on the slow burn thing, is that the more time I spent with this, the deeper I got invested into this one, so it struck me more and more. But this is an album that's probably going to hold your attention pretty quick if you're watching us for our normal stuff, not like Party Cannon before. But this is one of those albums that I think everyone should check out, for me, if nothing else for the mix, but just I think it's good songwriting, good songs, good performances, all those things. It's got a lot going for it, not just the production, but just for that alone, it's worth listening to it. If you like anything classic rock related, get onto this one now. I think it's fantastic. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I chose Remember, The Present, Not the Past, and That Freedom Word, my standout from this one. But I also liked, Tim mentioned No Steppin' Stones. I like that one as well. So that was, there's some good ones on this one. So please do check this one out.